About a particular company. We have ferro alloys manufacturer Nava, which reported what was a good set of Q2 numbers. Revenue and EBITDA saw strong growth. We had margins which expanded as well for the company. In fact, as of September 2023, the debt in the first half of FY24 lowered to around 1,059 crores. So we do have with us Sultan Baig, who's the CFO of Nava, who's joining in to discuss the performance gone by. Thanks, sir, for joining in, and season's greetings to you. If you could just start by giving us a sense in terms of how exactly the ferro alloys business did. There was a bit of an underperformance this quarter. What was the reason for that, and what is the outlook in the second half?
Thank you. Thank you for having us on the call. First of all, happy Deepavali to all of you, and new Samvat best wishes from our side. Ferroalloys, as you know, is a commodity market, and we have seen significant downtrend on the prices realization of the silico manganese because of the geopolitical factors, especially Ukraine war, has affected the offtake markets Europe. That's why we continue to see a pressure on the silico manganese price realization in the current quarter.
Okay, so can you just explain to us what the realizations were this quarter and what is your outlook and guidance for the second half?
Realizations for this quarter were average about 70,000 per metric ton for ferroalloys, and we anticipate that the realization will continue to be more or less in the similar levels. We feel that the silico manganese demand and the price will increase only in the next financial year.
Right. Mr. Baig, thank you for joining us. This is Mangalam here. Wish you and your team a very happy festivity seasons as well, and seasons greeting. Just wanted your thoughts on, the impact of the production of silico manganese, in Odisha works being temporarily stopped. Your results were good despite production stoppage in this facility. Could you give us a number as to how much of the loss was on account of this? And have operations resumed here?
We had an accident on one of the bunker areas which affected the production of the silico manganese in Odisha unit. We lost about 4.5 months of production. We anticipate the restoration works to complete and the production up by end of December. Though we lost some of the revenue because of the ferroalloys loss, our power division in Odisha contributed significantly. We were able to who continues to make revenue from the power through bilateral PPAs, short-term PPAs, and that sustained the margins.
And what was the revenue loss, if you would give us the number, and by when is it likely to resume?
It's likely to resume by end of December from January, and the revenue loss was about 5,000 metric tons of ferroalloys.
And the revenue loss is insured, or is it just the production ramp up or fixing the thing which is insured? Just wanted to understand that.
Actually, the material damage is not so much as compared to the loss of business. Our insurance policy covers the loss of business as well as the material damage. The insurance claim has been lodged, and I think it will be crystallized once we resume the operations.
Okay. Can you give us more details about the agri business? What was it in terms of revenues? You do have an avocado project land as well. Where do things stand in that?
Ivory Coast, we are currently in the stage of exploration and doing the research on the completing the technical studies for determining of the mine reserves. We anticipate that the final results of the technical analysis will be with us by end of the financial year, post which we'll be able to finalize a mine development plan and commence on the operations. As regards the avocado business, we are in the plantation stage. Our endeavor is to have a total outlay of about 1,200 hectares of avocado plantation in phases. In the first phase, we are in the process of completing the plantation for 275 hectares, and so on and so forth. Every year, we'll be adding about 275 hectares of avocado plantation. And we expect that the commercialization or the harvesting of the first fruit will commence from 2026 onwards.
And how much do you expect it to generate in terms of revenue and margins for you and profitability?
Avocado is a very long gestation plantation, initially the revenues maybe of the yield from the avocado plantations maybe about 30 to 40%. By the fourth or fifth year, when this starts fruiting, that's when we'll realize the full potential from the plantation. And as we start in the phases, so we'll have the first plantation giving us the harvest in 26 and so on and so forth. So we'll have the entire 1200 hectares of the plantation giving full fruits by 2030. And from the estimates of the avocado prices and so in the current scenario, we anticipate a revenue of about $50 to $60 million by year 2030.
All right. And, just give us a fresh update on what's taking place in Zambia right now. I mean, you had some receivables from Zesco. You also realized some of those receivables. What's pending? What is the debt now post this? You had to, give back some money to the lenders, etc. as well. Is it business as usual? What about the Zambian power tariff, which was expected to be revised downwards? Give us an entire overview in there.
Yeah, Zambia has been a remarkable turnaround story as compared to last financial year. We had receivables, about $570 million outstanding receivables from Zesco, which went into arbitration. And post the settlement in last December, Zesco has been continuously paying. As on date, out of $578 million, we were able to settle over $290 million. And the present outstanding is about $287 million. And we anticipate another $105 million also we'll realize by end of the calendar year. And this has been declared to the stock market. Another $180 million we anticipate to realize in the year 2024. On the operations front, knock on the wood, things are very fine. Both units continue to generate power, and Zesco continues to take the entire power. And Zesco is also continuing to pay the full value of the invoice that we are for the power that's getting supplied month on month. So there is no outstanding receivables for the monthly supplies. As you mentioned, there was a outstanding long-term debt of about $412 million in the MCL last year, and out of which we were able to repay about $290 million in less than 1 year. And the debt now stands at just about $118 million.
Okay, just a word before we let you go on the consolidated debt on the balance sheet. You have reduced your debt. What is your plans on further reduction? What would you be comfortable with in terms of an absolute level?
I'll start with the standalone. As a standalone entity, we are absolutely debt-free as on date. Post the September results in the first week of October, we cleared off another 64 crores of the long-term debt, and standalone operations are totally debt-free. We have no debt. And it's our endeavor to also clear the long-term debt at Mamba Collieries, which is just about $118 million by end of the financial year. Basically, it paves the way for distribution of the returns to the equity sponsors.
All right. And finally, Mr. Baig, I remember the last time we spoke, you said that you were looking at appointing some real estate developers to sell your Hyderabad land, which is close to around 60 acres, if I remember that correctly. What's the update there, and what's the realizable value?
As of now, we have put the sale of the Nacharam land on hold. The reason being the land prices in that part of the city are continuing to appreciate. We want to hold on for some time, and we feel that we'll be able to realize much better potential by holding it off for some more time, so that we deliver better value.
Right now?
It will be a speculation, sir, if I say the current ongoing value.
All right.
Okay, all right. So we're going to let you go on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and speaking to us. So that is Nava Limited talking about a whole host of segments in their business. We need to take a short break now, but up next we'll put the focus on Biocon, which has slipped in trade after missing sales as well as profit estimates. Stay tuned.